I'm super excited because this room is literally my space. My office is a complete mess. So that's the tea on my office space. I cannot wait to see all of this come together. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. I'm Lorient and I'm so happy that you're here. And today I'm really excited for this video because this project has kind of been a long time coming, but I haven't really had the energy, time, budget to make over my home office space. So I'm finally getting an opportunity to do that. I'm super excited because this room is literally my space. I do work from home 4 days a week, so this is literally the space that I am in from morning until evening. But also sometimes I like to come in here and carve out like some dedicated time to work on my YouTube stuff or other creative things or things that I just want to like spend time researching and learning, because that's kind of what I do in my free time. I also film in here quite a bit, and it's bothered me ever since I started filming in here that I have nothing on the walls behind me. It's just so blank and barren, and I hate that. And so because I spend so much time in this little room, I figured it was time to give it the makeover it deserves. Now, because this room is closed off from the rest of the house, I really could go wild in here and have a lot of fun with my style and design in here. But part of me wants to carry some of the same vibes from the rest of the house into this room so that it does still feel cohesive. I don't want to totally feel like I'm being transported into like an entirely different space, but at the same time, because this is kind of my space and it is closed off, I do want to have a little bit more fun in here. I can add some more color and I can add some more fun textures or feminine aspects that I really don't have going on in the rest of the house. So for this project, I'm not going to be buying any new furniture. All of the furniture in here is fairly new. We just moved into this house a year and a half ago, and I purchased all new furniture for this space when we moved in. So even though I've been working at my desk now for a year and I kind of feel like I could use a longer desk, I'm gonna hold off on that. That's gonna be something for later, further down the road. Right now, we're gonna work with what we have in order to keep the budget down. I'm also not gonna be painting the walls. Our walls are a color called Swiss Coffee. I have it all throughout our house. Every single room in our home is painted Swiss Coffee by Behr Paint. I love it. It's the perfect like neutral off-white for me. And I have no desire to change that in here. However, when we painted the house, the painters did not paint the trim around the door or the floors or the window, likely because it is a darker wood that matches the beautiful built-ins that are behind my desk. Even though the built-in is on one of the smallest walls in this room and the trim is just a small portion of wall space, that dark wood darkens and drabs up the space so much. And I didn't paint it when we first moved in because I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do with it, and once it's painted, and I didn't know if maybe I would like the wood or what, so I just decided to do nothing and live with it for a while and then see how I felt. And after living with it for a year and a half, I feel like it needs to be painted. So your girl went to Home Depot and I looked at some paint swatches. I pretty much knew that I wanted to go with a green. I tend to really love olive green colors, the kind of mossy green colors, and I knew I wanted something darker rather than lighter. And after looking at all of the paint, I decided to go with a beautiful green called Amazon Jungle. And then I'm gonna paint all of the wood trim in the room, just a classic white, the way all of our trim is throughout the house. I just like that. It feels very fresh to me. Sticking with a brushed brass or gold as kind of like our accent throughout the room. Everything I have is pretty much already gold. My lamps are gold. My desk accessories, a lot of them are gold. One, I think that's gonna look the most stunning with everything going on in the room, but also it's the most budget friendly because I don't have to switch anything out. I already have the gold. So that's the tea on my office space. I cannot wait to see all of this come together and to see everything in my head just in front of me in my space. And I hope you guys enjoy hanging out with me while I make it my dream office. Okay, so as you can see, my whole built-in has been emptied off. I'm gonna give it a quick little dust and I'm gonna get to priming. I also have to remove the doors at the bottom so that I can like paint the whole frame of the cabinet and then paint the doors. My office is a complete mess because I've had boxes coming in. My hallway out there is a mess too. I've had boxes coming in of things for the office for when it's all finished to put out and decorate and stuff. I love the shelving, like I love having the built-ins, but honestly, it's too many shelves. And I don't even have out all the shelves that this came with. I think I took like one shelf off of each section. I am going to take out the center row of shelving and I'm going to install a light there and a picture. So I won't have any shelving there. So that significantly reduced the amount of like tchotchkes that I needed to style this. Now this is not my first time at the wood cabinetry painting rodeo. I actually painted the kitchen cabinets in our first home. It was a huge project and kind of an ambitious undertaking for my first time as a homeowner, but they came out really great. We lived there for 6 years and in that time, I think we had like one tiny chip on one cabinet door. They really did hold up. I also did our bathroom cabinets in that house as well. So I'm pretty seasoned in painting cabinetry, I feel like, and I can do it. I just really didn't want to do it. We were gonna hire somebody and then when we got the quote back, I just was like, you know what? I might as well just take the time and save the money and do it myself. Ultimately, I am really glad that I just did the project myself and painted the built-ins and did the trim because it didn't take me that long. Like sure, my back was killing me afterwards, but it only took me 2 days. 1 day for priming and 1 day for painting. And I did 2 coats of each, so it really wasn't that bad. I'll be totally honest with you though, after my first coat of my Amazon Jungle Green, I was not in love. I was very concerned that I was not going to like it. I think it really mostly was just because it was coming out so streaky in my first coat. No matter what I did, whether I used the brush, whether I used the roller, it was just very streaky looking. So I was a little bit concerned. But when I went in with my second coat, I did it a little bit heavier because I really didn't want to do a third coat. So I tried to go heavier and use more paint, but I was trying to be careful to make sure I wasn't getting dripping. And ultimately it turned out really, really good. So spoiler alert, I ended up liking it. I'm so stoked about how this is coming along. I love that picture. It's different than I thought. I thought it was going to be like, well, here, let me show it to you so you know what I'm talking about. I for sure thought this was going to be like a textured painting, like this was going to be like plaster or whatever it is that they use to do these, but it's really just a print of that. From a distance though, or like on camera, you can't really tell, I feel like, but you can see it up close. And honestly, that's probably not an Amazon thing. That's probably just a me not reading the description properly to see that this is a print of that. But I'm not mad at it for, I forget how much I paid for it, but it wasn't like crazy expensive. I love that picture light. That picture light was like, I don't know, maybe $30, $27 to $30. It's rechargeable LED, so it comes with a cord that you can take it off the wall and plug it in, or I think the plug is long enough and I have an outlet inside my cabinets there. So I think I'll be able to just like charge it every once in a while. It's giving like official like study vibes. So funny story. Oh, hi Mike. A funny story. I was gonna go put these shelves up so that I could get a look of everything all put together because I have the doors on, but I forgot that I hadn't painted the other side of the shelving yet because I needed to like fully let that one side dry before I could even flip it to paint the other side. So I gave those 1 coat of paint so far. They will get a 2nd coat. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of time to dry, and then it's probably gonna need to dry overnight before I can put them on here. But I did place all my little brackets so that when they are ready, I can just kind of pop them into place. I love the way my picture of my light looks. I'm going to put the tray that I had there before down at the bottom, and then I got some things to like style it and make it really pretty. For now, I know the kids probably want to see me because I've been in here a good portion of the morning and they've been hanging out with Mike. So I'm gonna go out there and spend some time with them while I do the next part of my project, which is actually to frame some pictures that I got for the wall behind my sofa. So with a little help from Mike, Josiah, and Ariella, I got all of my pictures for the office framed. Some of my favorites, and these are 8x8s. I love how these came out. I didn't realize how expensive like frames can be. These are the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon. They had pretty decent reviews, but most of the photos in the reviews were for the black set. So it was 9 frames. And I guess these are 12x12s, but I did 8x8 pictures because I used the matting. And the frame itself is plastic and the front is not glass. It's like a plexiglass or something like that. And I don't know, I feel like you can't really tell. So I'm happy with them. I think they came out really nice. And I think the black and white photos really did upgrade them and make them feel more luxe than they are. That's as good as it's gonna get. I'm just so bad at hanging things not only straight, but also like perfectly aligned and spaced. It's just not my strong suit. I'm just not good at it. I've accepted that every time I try to do a wall like this in my home, it will be a little crooked, a little, you know, whatever. And I think that is what adds charm to it. By day 3, the littles were littling. They wanted to be involved in everything that I was doing, and they were in and out of the office. They love it in here. I think it's because I normally keep the door closed and locked so that they can't come in here and mess with like my computer equipment and my camera equipment while I'm not around, because, you know, I keep my work stuff in here, so I have to be like very careful. So I think it's like a rare opportunity that they're like welcomed in here. So whenever the door is open, they like charge in here. And so today they were helping me, and it was really fun having Josiah help unpackage everything as I was putting it out on the shelves, while Ari like sat in my office desk chair and just spun around until she was dizzy. One thing I wanted to bring to my office space is like life, but I can't keep plants alive. So I had to go the route of faux plants. Like, it's just not in me. I kill succulents, like it's serious. So I went with pampas grass because that's 0 maintenance. It looks really pretty in the vase that I got. I also went with a faux eucalyptus tree. I am so weird about faux trees. Like, if they don't look real, I don't want them. If it looks like it was in like the corner of an Olive Garden, I don't want it. This one is actually really nice. Is it the most realistic looking? I've seen better, but for the price, that was the other thing. I wanted to stay within a certain price point. This actually really worked, and putting it in a basket made it like look really nice. And so I might finish it off with some moss at the top at some point, but for now is good. I said it before in this video and I will say it again. I was so intimidated to style these bookshelves. It's just so many shelves, and I didn't want it to look too cluttered. I wanted it to look minimal, but like still full enough. It was a tricky thing to get the hang of. You see me kind of move everything around as I go until I kind of get something that I like. And I'm sure even over time I'll end up tweaking it and adding things and moving things to different places in the house. Some of the decor that I found for the shelves were things that we owned that I just moved from other rooms, like the bookends. My Marilyn Monroe books were in our old house, all that stuff. So I didn't buy everything new, but I did buy quite a bit of little kind of just knickknacks. I was very excited to have knickknacks, useless dust collecting items that a lot of people hate. I love because I feel like they add character to a space, and we don't have a lot of that going on in our house right now because we just have two really little kids who think everything is a toy, and so having decorative things out just ends up being more work for me because I have to constantly move everything back to where it goes at the end of the day, and then you have to worry about people breaking things. So I just don't have a lot of that at this point, and I miss it. And so because this is my space, I can do whatever I want with it and have all of the useless dust collecting things I want. And even though I love all of the decor, I still need some practical pieces. These little letter drawers are going to be perfect for my important paperwork. I used to have like a gold letter tray there, but I hated that it was open because you could see all the papers and it looked sloppy and gave me anxiety. So this will keep everything hidden. Yes, I did buy all nude pens because it looks good. I've had them for like a week. They actually write really well. I'm enjoying them immensely. So if you need pens, Amazon's got you. I'll put the link below. And a tissue box cover, which I've never had in my adult life, and I don't know why, because it looks great. Now, probably most importantly for an office space, I needed to upgrade my desk and my workspace here. I can't believe I've been working from home for 3 years and did not have a monitor. Like all this time I've been working off of like a laptop on an elevated stand. So I got myself this big old monitor, which I love. And I like that it's white and it's frameless in the front. So it's really kind of aesthetically pleasing. And I even got myself this little acrylic stand to put it on. So it's super high now. I feel like I am sitting in the second row at a movie theater, to be very specific. And I absolutely love working like this so much more. Alright, so this is it. This is the finished result, and I have to tell you, I am beyond happy with how this all turned out. I love it so much. I've actually been working in this space for the past week and I love how it feels in here now. I love being in here all day. It doesn't feel like a dark, drab dungeon anymore. It feels beautiful and elevated and a little grown and sexy, kind of like a sophisticated study. Painting the built-ins this green was the best decision I think I've ever made, like hands down. It came out so good. And I have to say, I was very overwhelmed with the idea of styling all of the shelving in the bookshelf, even though I reduced the center shelves and kind of made that like a statement piece for art. And I love my pampas grass here. These actually remind me of my grandfather and time we used to spend together when I was little. So I actually love having that in there because it reminds me of him. Bought a couple of new pieces to spruce up the shelving. Some of it I had in my office previously, like my ceramic hand and this little hanging plant here. Those were already here, and pictures that I had that I just like had never framed are finally up. So I've got my wedding picture with my dad up here and a little picture of me and my best friend. I love how much brighter the room looks now that the trim and the door is painted like that bright glossy white. Everything overall looks so much brighter and lighter, even though I did paint the bookcase kind of a darker, moodier color. It all just works together so well. And I love that instead of going with like artwork on the walls, I went with family photos because it just kind of reminds me why I do all the things I do in this office anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me while I made this into my dream office space. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already for more videos in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!